Thank you. Thank you all for being here and giving me your time today. I'm really excited to be at Apex. This is actually my third Apex, and it's amazing to be here and reconnect with a lot of people that I've just seen grow with this ecosystem over time. And so very thankful to be spending time with you today and excited to be showing you what we've been working on at Blockchain Laboratories. So Blockchain Laboratories, we're a Web3 venture studio, and what I mean by that is we're creating use cases and applications using DLT technology and tokenization, and we're highly focused on high impact, ESG, social good use cases of this technology. And before starting Blockchain Laboratories, I was actually in the corporate social responsibility space for about 15 years and really an advocate for cause-integrated advertising and brands using dollars they were already spending in ways that could also benefit planet and people. And about 3 years ago, I really got into the Web3 space and just saw that it was an opportunity to unlock capital, transform markets, and really have an influence in doing positive things in business. And specifically in October 2020, a dream came true for me, and I purchased some forest land for this conservation project, and it really led me down this rabbit hole of the carbon markets. And I quickly understood that carbon markets could really benefit from this technology. And so we started working on a platform called Carbon Land Trust. And Carbon Land Trust's whole premise was to conserve and protect biodiverse forest land perpetually. So when a brand would buy a Carbon Land Trust carbon credit, they could know that they were creating old growth forests for future generations. And thankfully, we were a Wave 1 and Wave 2 grant to be working on that solution, and it's been a long road and grind, but I'm excited to say that into this month or beginning of October, Carbon Land Trust will finally be going live on the mainnet and offering its first forest conservation-based carbon credits. And also during this time, though, other companies learned about what we were doing on the XRP ledger to tokenize carbon credits, and they were really excited about the opportunity as well. And that company was called Intrinsic Methods. And what's really cool about Intrinsic Methods is they represent a technology patent called RootMaker. And what RootMaker is it's a container system and methodology for growing trees that whatever tree you plant in a RootMaker container system, it will grow 200 to 300% faster, over a 9-year time period when it's put in the ground. And when it's put in the ground, it has a 95+% survivability rate. And that's really an amazing thing for reforestation carbon credits. And so I'm excited to say that both of these carbon credit registries will be coming to the XRP ledger in Q4 this year. Why digital assets are important for the carbon markets? Well, there's been a lot of news lately about the quality and what's happening on some of these projects that are out there, and then there's problems with double counting, and there's, like every industry and things, there's problems in these markets. But what digital assets bring to these markets is radical transparency into the whole life cycle of a carbon credit, from when it's issued to its trading activity, and really from its retirement all the way down the path. And the other really exciting thing about the XRP ledger is, as you guys probably already know, the DEX is built into the layer 1. So what this means is that the liquidity around these carbon credits and the forward contracts that are related to these carbon credits that these registries will be offering, anyone in the world has the same access to those carbon credits, whether they want to buy one of them or whether they want to buy all of them. The DEX facilitates that really open and liquid market. So other things. So we're going to dive a little bit into how we set up the registry, and then the benefits of using this really as an accounting system for carbon credits and the IWA token taxonomy framework. So what we're looking at over here really in this top corner, you think about it, is the first wallet related to the admin of the system, and this wallet is started by really the core leadership of whoever is going to be launching this registry. And what you're seeing in the gray boxes surrounding it is it's showing that that account is the one who activated those other accounts. And so what that means, if you're not familiar, it means that when that account was activated, registry master, insurance pool, account manager, for example, they until someone sends XRP to them, they're not activated, right? But when another account sends XRP to them, they become activated, and then those accounts are always linked forever on the ledger. And that's how we keep this, that people know that these accounts relate to the ledger. And so then what you're seeing over here is the registry master is actually the one that's going to activate a segregated account for every ecological project that issues carbon credits. And this is really based on some of the latest recommendations from like the virtual asset service providers about having segregated accounts and all this. But also the beauty behind it is that that means that every XRPL account that XRPL account itself actually becomes an identity and holds all the NFTs and tokens related to that project to really create a transparent place to see what's happening around these activities. And now we're zooming in, and when we zoom in, now we're looking at one of those ecological projects, right? And so the way that we're using the Interwork Alliance's token taxonomy framework, and if you're not really familiar with it, just Google it. Go to the Global Blockchain Business Council. They're the ones really that are driving. It's more than the carbon markets. But the way that some of the taxonomies that they have for the carbon markets, that we're using in this project is the ecological project, modular benefit, ecological claim, process claim, and carbon removal unit and process unit. And what these are, they're data that you need for each one of these different things. And so, in the ecological project, really think about it as that NFT is a DID in this account. And it's a way that it never leaves the account. It just shows like this account is who it is. And we're going to demonstrate this in a second. Modular benefit, this is like a claim that an ecological project making. So these projects are making a carbon removal claim, but you could also be making a water conservation claim, pollinator claim, and those are all modular benefits. And then an ecological claim itself is actually what people today think of like a MRV report. So after you've gathered all that data to support your modular benefit and make that claim as why there should be a carbon credit, that's the NFT that you're going to mission. It's going to have all that data packed into it. Carbon removal unit is actually now the claim process claim is that a third-party verifier has actually looked at your ecological claim. They said, yep, this is real. Yeah, then your numbers add up. Sign off on it. And then you're actually going to be able to mint the carbon removal NFT that's going to represent those carbon credits forever. And then in the way of the system that we use, then we issued fungible token, issued currencies for the number of carbon credits related to each one of those vintages. Whoops. Now I'm going to jump into a demo and actually show you what this looks like right now on the testnet. So this is just hypothetical data in here right now, but these are two mock projects that I loaded up, but this is actually based on a real project that Intrinsic Methods is bringing to the market. And really what we're seeing in here is really, again, like an overview of what's going on in this project. And so we've already issued things in this project to be able to show you this demo. And I'll, just to go over this a little bit, and then I'll dive into actually showing you some of the ways that we're using tokenization. But right now I'm logged in as an admin of this registry. And I'm really looking at this think about this ecological profile as actually like an explorer looking right into that ecological project segregated account, and it's allowing you to engage with just that account. So if I come here, I know I'm only buying carbon credits from this eco project, and if I go to a different carbon credit on the registry, the DEX is only going to be trading with that credits, right? And that's really just to help our buyers understand exactly where they're getting from. But again, if I was the registry, I would be using this time mostly to be making a sell offer based on carbon credits that had been issued and the price that the eco project wanted to be in. And so, they're going to be able to, again, maybe the ecological project wants to be paid in a different currency. There's lots of currency options that they would be able to go with. And that's the beauty about the XRP Ledger DEX too, is that really you can buy and sell carbon credits for anything you want. But we're just going to make an offer on the registry. And you could also think about this right now, just real quick, I don't want to run out of time, but, when an eco project gets issued their credits, that doesn't mean they have to offer all of them on the DEX for the same price. They could stagger them, they could do them in batches, they could do whatever they want, and they could test what the market demand is, right? And so also I'm going to show a different account that actually has what we call PFMUs, which is a pre-purchase for a future mitigating unit, and that's a forwards contract. And that's, again, this is really a way that allows price discovery inside this market, because these forestry projects that are doing reforestry work, a lot of times they need to pre-fund that to be able to grow all the trees, plant all the trees, and so they might be willing to sell a forward contract where those carbon credits are maybe $12 a ton when they know they can get $18 a ton afterwards, but they're willing to sell 25% up front to be able to fund this project. And so again, they could stagger and make, you know, different offers that they actually want to put out on the market. And so again, this order is being submitted to the DEX. This is all happening on testnet, by the way, if I didn't already mention that. Wi-Fi is a little bit slow here. So order is listed on the DEX. And there we go, pops up. So now real quick, I'm just going to dive into the admin section of this, actually. So what we're looking at here, again, this is a project that's kind of gone through the full process of minting some different NFTs, and I'm going to dive into a different project now, and kind of we're going to go through that process together so you can just kind of see what this workflow looks like. Oops. Bear with me, I'm sorry. So what we're getting down here, this is what I wanted to show. So the core carbon principles is really, again, this is part of what I consider, you know, very important to the interoperability in the future carbon market. So most of the market out there is kind of fragmented in the way that they describe their carbon credits, and there's really been a push in the voluntary carbon market and the mandatory markets to have a standard set taxonomy for us to be able to describe these processes, these carbon credits, so that way people when you're searching and comparing credits, you can do them based on the same criteria that comparing everyone to the same information. I'm only going to put 2 of these in here because I do not want to run out of time. So this is just creating the project in the database real quick. As soon as this finishes, then what we're going to be brought to is this thing. So this is where we get back to that diagram, where we're now going to create an account for this ecological project. Then we're going to activate this account. And see, again, we can see that the sender is this going to be the registry master. And this, again, is making that connection to bring this registry together so that you know that this is an authentic project, eco project in this. Next thing that you have to do in this project now is we're going to actually mint that decentralized ID for this ecological project. So again, all of these fields that I'm filling out, I'm just going to use the specifications that are coming from the IWA token taxonomy framework, because we don't have really time to go through all of these and fill it out completely. So I'm just going to do this because I really just wanted to demonstrate the process of actually minting the NFTs. So normally, these projects are going to put in, verifiable information that's going to be supporting these projects. And so I just want to emphasize they wouldn't be filling this out as fast and just clicking around in here. This is important information related to these projects. So right now, that transaction will be submitted to mint this in it, or right now I'm saving the file to the IPFS. So based on that data I just entered in the field, we're now creating a JSON file and saving that JSON file to IPFS. Once that file has been saved, you can see it's saved down here. So that's the metadata that we just created. Now we're going to use that metadata when we mint the XLS NFT. Wi-Fi is a little bit slow here. All right, so now we can click here. And we can see that we just minted this NFT. We can see the metadata here based on the IWA Eco Project ID. And then if we go here, this is again how these things are connected. This is, when we're talking about an ecological project segregated account, this is that ecological project segregated account. So now this NFT exists as a DID inside of this account and helps connect it to the registry. So now let me go back out here. Maybe I got 7 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to demonstrate the minting the carbon credits because I do want to show you actually being a user, like a buyer on this space, and how you can buy credits and retire them, burn. So everyone's really excited about this burn to mint, right? Well, we're doing burn to mint right now. We're burning carbon credits to mint carbon removal NFTs. And so I'm going to show you something really, I think that's really exciting and cool. And it's really important for this market how accessible this is. Like businesses can just come in, individuals, and they can buy carbon credits and retire them all trustlessly without ever having to talk to the registry or get permission. Or I'm logged in as a user now. I've already purchased carbon credits from these projects. Now, let me just show you real quick. I got 6 minutes. I'll do it real quick. Whoops, I didn't issue in this one. So again, if I'm whether I'm a corporate or an individual, I can check out these ecological projects. I can learn about them. I can, again, core carbon principles are all here. I can see the history of this project and all the transaction histories. But, let's go to the DEX. I already purchased from here, but I'm going to buy these. I don't have enough to buy that much, that's for sure. Insignificant funds. I'm holding 0 USD. LL. Let me see here. Well, okay. I don't have any USD. So I'm just going to show you the retirement process. So I've already purchased, you can see, 408 FMUs, again, future mitigated units, and 90 FMU from this project. I'm going to go in and retire some of these. Again, over here is really that certificate of proof that you did this, and over here again we're seeing how many I hold, the project I'm about to retire from. As I enter this, you'll see that it's showing me what my certificate's going to look like on that side. I can enter, anyone that I could be doing this on behalf of my own company, or I could be doing it on behalf of someone else. It's going to confirm that I want to retire them. So now the carbon credits are being sent back to the issue to be burned. After that transaction has gone through, then an NFT is going to be minted based on the information that we just put on and that image that we just saw. Few transactions happening here. And as you can see, I just got this, so I could download this, print it off, put it on my wall. And this is mock, so we're going to make these even a little sharper and cleaner, but this is really for the demo purposes today. But then again, this is what's important right now. So if you're a company in it and you're making claims and retiring credits to report for your carbon neutrality or net zero or ESG claims, the permanence and transparency of being able to point right to an NFT that will, it's going to be there. It's, you're not going to lose it in your filing cabinet. You're not going to misplace this. It's always there. And it's again, I just want to emphasize how accessible it was for me to do that, to come in. So I couldn't go to one of the, encumbrants today at the registries and be like, give me 100 carbon credits, click. Okay, I'm going to just go retire those. Check. No, it's not like that, and it's not easy for eco projects either. And so, really, it might not seem all fancy and everything, but this is really revolutionary for this industry and bringing a lot of transparency and trust back to the space. So, I have 3 minutes left, and I would really rather get some questions from you guys because feedback is always what helps us get better. And so, are there any questions? Or anything that I can show you that I didn't show you, please.
This is amazing. Okay. I have a question. So are these NFTs supposed to be transferable?
So this, for a carbon removal certificate, yes, so if you look down in here, you're going to see the mentor and owner, right? This is, if I go to this account, this is actually just a mock buyer that we created, right? And then if I go to the issuer, again, this is connecting this NFT to that ecological project. And so the carbon removal, the certificates, we have them transferable because maybe you want to move them to a different wallet, it's your certificate, but we still need it to be connected to the ecological project, and so that's why it's listed as I shown as the issuer on the thing. But the other NFTs, to your point as well, that are related to like the DID inside the account and things like that, those aren't really meant to be transferred, or they're really about documents that live inside that account, and that account is like the ID of the ecological project.
So wouldn't they need to be these NFTs like what if someone just trades them and moves it to another account? Isn't it supposed to be for a specific company, and it should not be?
Well, again, so this certificate isn't like, it wouldn't be valuable to anyone else. It's really just a receipt that you as a company can point back to as evidence that you retired carbon credits from a specific project. But there would really be, like, no one would want to put this on an open marketplace or whatever and try to resell it or anything, because what it is, it's just a receipt that your business can use in its claim. And also, I think that what might be cool though in the future is I think some businesses will have like walls that they're showing, just like people put Harvard. They'll be like, look at the cool work that we're doing. So again, one thing, since I got a few seconds left. People have different feelings about carbon markets, but what I want to tell you right now is that people should care about the impact that they have on the planet and the environment. And carbon credits is a really great way that we can actually support like really awesome nature restoration projects and do some good things in the world. And so whatever your feelings are, I just think that you should be open to the idea that we spend and waste a lot of money on unproductive things that hurt the planet, and we could also spend and waste a lot of money on things that did a lot of good for the planet. So I thank you again for all your time, and I see the timer, I'm out of time.